Right now, the Play Store has over 2 million apps and almost half of them are games. Of course, a lot of them are pretty bad or just meme games, but like in life, not everyone can make it, right? Well, I've decided to put together a list of 15 Android games that I think are really underrated and deserve way more attention. So hit that like button and let's dive in. Unlike many other Android games, this one is exclusive to Android, and honestly, it's one of the most fun games out there. Let's talk about Guardian Tales. The game takes place in the Kingdom of Canterbury, which is under attack by dark forces. You play as a rookie guardian whose mission is to protect the princess and save the world. Along the way, you meet various heroes, each with their own unique abilities and personalities, while uncovering secrets of the kingdom. The game is just perfect in so many ways, like 19 worlds in the story mode, a super fun and competitive PvP, and a really cool cooperative mode. Honestly, the only thing this game needs to be the best RPG on Android is an open world, but even without that, it really deserves to be one of the highest rated games on the Play Store. Many people think this game is just a simple and basic simulation, but they have no idea how much depth this game actually has. Let's talk about My Time at Portia. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity is rebuilding civilization. You play as a young person who inherits their father's old workshop in the town of Portia and needs to restore it while building their life in the community. The game mixes crafting, exploration, combat, and social interaction, much like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, but with a 3D twist. Yes, it has the usual farming and crafting systems you'd expect from these games, along with social relationships, and you can even find yourself a girlfriend in this one. But the game also features an open world with plenty of secrets and some interesting combat. I definitely recommend checking it out because it might just surprise you. One of the few true Souls-like games on Android, let's talk about the legendary PASCAL's Wager. The game is set in a dark, decaying world where the sun has disappeared and a dense fog has covered the land, giving rise to horrific creatures. You play as Terrence, a fallen messenger seeking the truth behind this corrupted world. As I mentioned, the game focuses on a more strategic and realistic combat system, so it's totally normal to die a lot and have to face a boss at least 5 times to get past a level. Contrary to what many people think, the game actually features several playable characters, each with their own unique fighting styles, abilities, and mechanics. It's a tough game and definitely stands out from the usual Android games coming out these days. Maybe this game is one of the worst on this list, but I'm always shocked that nobody knows about it. Let's talk about SAKAR Infinity. SAKAR Infinity is a 3D action game developed by Archon Arts, inspired by the Indian movie SAKAR, starring Thalapathy Vijay. In the game, you play as the main character Sundar Ramasamy, facing waves of enemies in a setting that resembles an unfinished building, much like one of the iconic scenes from the movie. I haven't seen the movie either, but I fell in love with the game and its intense, fast-paced combat. But it's not just that, you can level up your character and unlock new combos and power-ups for them. And the best part, the combat system is super intuitive and easy to learn, making the gameplay incredibly addictive. You're probably familiar with the game Diablo, and in the case of Android, Diablo Immortal. However, there's another game that's similar and maybe even superior called UNDECEMBER. UNDECEMBER is an action RPG in the hack-and-slash style, developed by Needs Games and published by Line Games. The game has a feel similar to Diablo and Path of Exile, offering a progression system without fixed classes, allowing players to create their own playstyle. The combat is pretty much inspired by Diablo, so there's not much to add in that regard. However, as I mentioned, the standout feature is its lack of classes to choose from. This gives you the freedom to build your character however you want, and also select whatever skills you want for them. I really enjoy UNDECEMBER, and as amazing as it is, it often flies under the radar compared to many other games. There are countless roguelike games on Android. Some are really good like Moonlighter, while others are pretty repetitive and basic. But this one will definitely surprise you. Let's talk about Valhalla Survival.
Hero.
It's a bit hard for me to talk about this game because even though it's extremely well made and well constructed, it's still just another normal roguelike. Players can choose from 3 hero classes, each with unique abilities and playstyles, offering a personalized experience. The game offers an insane amount of character customization with over 120 stages, 200 pieces of equipment, and a variety of missions and epic boss battles. But I think what stands out the most is the incredibly smooth gameplay, which will have you hooked for 12 hours straight. And I think that's the big idea behind this game. It's designed to be addictive. I know a lot of people love survival games, and there are some really well-made ones on Android, but this one is very underrated and almost forgotten. Let's talk about Stranded on a Raft. RAFT, this game is basically like RAFT, where you're stranded in the middle of the ocean and need to survive while building up your raft. Players start with a basic raft, but they can expand and upgrade it as they collect resources and build new structures to help with survival. It's essential to gather floating materials and other resources from the ocean to craft tools, weapons, and structures that increase your chances of surviving. But the best part, as you may have already noticed, is that it's incredibly lightweight yet still manages to deliver a really complete gaming experience. This is without a doubt, and I've played a lot of racing games, the best racing game on Android. Let's talk about Grid Legends. The game offers a variety of racing modes, including street circuits, endurance races, drift, touring races, and even rally competitions. This ensures a diverse and exciting experience, allowing players to engage in different racing styles. It takes a more realistic approach with driving mechanics that try to replicate the actual experience of driving different types of cars, but without a doubt the main highlight is the gameplay and the graphics, which are out of this world. It's incredible how beautiful and well made this game is at the same time. It's simply the best racing game for Android. If you love insane combat and hack and slash, my friend, I'm about to introduce you to the best game. Let's talk about Aether Gazer.
The wind's rising. Take this.
Aether Gazer combines hack and slash elements with RPG mechanics. Players form teams of 3 mods, each with unique abilities to face hordes of enemies. The game emphasizes strategic team formation, utilizing synergies between characters to maximize damage and battle effectiveness. The story takes place after a catastrophic event that devastated the real world. In an attempt to preserve humanity, survivors transferred their consciousness into the virtual network Gaia. However, creatures known as Vizbans emerged, threatening civilization. Sometimes I jump into the game just to keep taking out robots because it's so well done. At the same time, I enjoy pulling new characters from the gacha to see how they work. I honestly don't know how long this game will last, but let's talk about one of the best tactical RPGs on the Playstore, ZOLD out. ZOLD Out is a tactical RPG with deck building elements developed by C4Cat Entertainment Limited. It integrates tactical RPG elements with deck building, offering a unique strategic experience. Players can choose from 4 weapon classes, each with a distinct set of weapon cards providing various tactical options. Each character has 12 action points per turn, which can be spent to perform actions during battles. Managing these points effectively is crucial for strategic success. This game is simply gorgeous. Its gameplay reminds me of those classic tactical RPGs I used to love, and that's why I'm so fond of it. Unfortunately, this game hasn't been updated for Android, so you could say that if you have a really good phone, you might still have trouble running it. Let's talk about Deep Dungeon. This is a pretty simple offline 2D game. As you can see, in it you help the main character explore the dungeon and find a lost artifact to save his family. The game gives you a lot of freedom to explore the area and doesn't trap you at any point. The gameplay is solid, and graphically it manages to impress with its pixel art. It's a simple game, but in a way that's what's missing on Android these days, a super simple game that still manages to get players excited. One of the most overlooked genres on Android is definitely the fighting genre, and I get it. Playing on a touchscreen can be a bit tricky, but then you get to know VITA Fighters. The game was designed with easy-to-learn controls, perfect for quick gaming sessions on mobile devices. Its visual style blends blocky character designs with anime influences, creating a unique aesthetic. The game features a roster of over 16 playable characters inspired by different fighting game archetypes, anime, and pop culture, and that's exactly what Android needs right now. A fighting game that doesn't try to be anything different or unique, but just a solid, classic fighting game. VITA Fighters fills that void in such a beautiful way. It's a simple game that can really excite fighting game fans. A hidden gem on the Playstore, completely offline and all about farming. Let's talk about Stardew Island. In this game, players start with an empty space and have the chance to develop a thriving town, beginning with a small outdoor area and expanding to include farms, businesses, and tourist attractions. The goal is to turn an uninhabited area into a vibrant community, giving players the chance to create and customize their own virtual world. Players can design and build various types of buildings, including farms, businesses, and attractions, allowing for a wide range of town customization. This game is simply amazing because the sheer amount of things it lets you do is mind-blowing, even though it's so simple. Farming sims like this are hard to pull off on Android, and yet this game is incredibly free. This is one of the most legendary and underrated roguelikes on Android since its release in 2017. Let's talk about Soul Knight Prequel. The game combines dungeon exploration with intense battles and equipment gathering, offering an immersive experience for both fans of the series and newcomers. Players face hordes of enemies in procedurally generated dungeons, using a variety of weapons and abilities to progress. You can team up with other players to tackle challenges together, promoting a collaborative and social gaming experience. Soul Knight Prequel is one of the oldest and most well-known online roguelikes on the Playstore, yet there's barely any content about it on the internet. It really feels like an extremely underrated game. Let's finish this list with a game that I know has a lot of potential and could become huge on Android. Let's talk about Mattering's Fire. Mattering's Fire is an innovative first-person shooter FPS that combines intense battles with an item-based reward system. Players engage in exciting 5-player team confrontations. The game is very similar to Counter-Strike, but with a more colorful twist. Its gameplay is fast-paced and dynamic, and I think it's the kind of game that Android was missing. A game similar to Counter-Strike. I truly believe Mattering's Fire has the potential to reach the same level of success as Mobile Legends, for example. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this list of underrated gems for Android. If you're a fan of unique games like these, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments which game caught your eye or if you have any other recommendations. Until next time, keep gaming and stay awesome.